boys and girls, and welcome back to Dino Tales. I'm Dino Girl, and today I'm feeling sleepy. Yes, I think it's almost my bedtime. So, what story am I going to read before I go to Snoozy Land? Well, telling from this dinosaur watch, I think it's going to be a story about a carnivorous dinosaur. Oh, and I was correct. Spinosaurus and the roaring river. Oh, that sounds interesting. A very fierce-looking dinosaur as well, Spinosaurus. I wonder whether this story is going to be fierce. Well, if it's time for beddy buys, then I need to get myself nicely comfy, ready for bed. So what have I got in my blankie bag? Oh, the good and faithful super snuggly dressing gown. Oh, that's nice. I'll put that on. Oh, lovely. Oh, yes, that'd be nice. And sorry, it was so comfortable, I almost fell asleep. Okay, so I have a nice, comfy pillow, and what else have I got? Oh, the perfect thing for sending me off for bedtime, my favourite. A cuddly toy. That's nice. Get your nose out. Honestly, well, I think I'm all set for reading a story. Yeah, no, you're taking up far too much room. Come into my dressing gown. Let's pop you in there, because that's the best way to have you when we're reading a story, isn't it? Oh, it's a cool. You look at your belly squeezing through. Come on, that's it. There's enough room for you and me in here. Yes, there is. Don't argue. There's plenty of room. There's a good boy. Okay, so we're all set with our snuggles. Time to see who the friend is behind the chair today. Wow. Ooh. Oh, wow. It's Isaac the Iguanodon. I don't know if you remember, boys and girls, but we met Isaac in this story about Iguanodon a few weeks ago, it may be now. So, Isaac the Iguanodon, in that one, you were wearing some palm leaf stoppers in your ears that made you go to sleep. I hope you haven't got them in now. No? Okay, that's good, because you need to have them out just now so I can read you the story. Okay. You sit on that knee. God, my knees are full today, boys and girls. Is there enough room for you to join us as well? Of course there is. Come on. Join the Snuggle Fest in our special snuggle nest. And let's begin.
Spinosaurus and the roaring river.
Are you ready, Isaac, for this? Yeah? Good. And how about you? Get your nose out of the way. You can't see from down there, can you? That's it, come round here. Stop biting the cushion. Honestly, boys and girls, these dinosaurs are so naughty.
Okay, let's see what dinosaurs we're going to be meeting in today's story. We've got Suki the Spinosaurus, Beth the Bambiraptor, Amy the Avimimus, and Billy the Bagaceratops. Let's begin. Suki Suki was the new dinosaur in the valley. She lived near a roaring river with her mum and dad. With her huge sail, big snout, and long claws, Suki looked fierce. But all she wanted was to make some friends. The other dinosaurs were afraid of Suki, and this made her sad and lonely. One day, Suki went for a walk through the valley. She spotted a little Bambi raptor who looked like she would make a good friend. "Hello," she said. "I'm Suki. I'm new here." But Suki's sail cast a huge shadow over little Bambi raptor, whose name was Beth. She was so frightened that she ran off without even saying her name. Next, Suki came across a little Bagaceratops chomping on grass. A bird had landed on his bottom. "Excuse me, you have a bird on your bottom," laughed Suki. The Bagaceratops, whose name was Billy, turned around and had the fright of his life. Suki's huge jaws were wide open as she roared with laughter. Billy plodded away as fast as he could. On her way home, Suki spotted an Avimimus. "I'll try to make a friend one last time," she thought. Suki waved, but the Avimimus, whose name was Amy, took one look at Suki's razor-sharp claws and ran off. At home, Suki felt sad. "Why are you so sad?" asked her mum. "No one wants to be my friend because they're scared of me," said Suki. "Give them time to get to know you," said her mum. "Then they'll see how lovely you are and they won't be scared anymore." Suki felt happier after talking to her mum. She ran off to find the other dinosaurs. Beth, Billy and Amy were playing by the roaring river. So Suki went over to say a proper hello. Whoosh! The river suddenly burst its banks and water crashed over the young dinosaurs. "Help! Help! Help!" they yelled to Suki. Suki staggered to her feet. She was just big enough to stand up in the water. But the little dinosaurs were not so lucky. The raging river tossed and jostled them and carried them downstream. "Help! Help! Help!" they all screamed. "I'm coming!" shouted Suki. Beth was nearest to Suki. She bravely clung to a tree root. Suki struggled against the water and waded over to Beth. "Climb up my sail and hold on tight," Suki said gently, and she helped Beth onto her sail. Further upstream, Billy clung to a log. Suki pushed against the current to get to him. It was harder now with Beth on her back. "Keep still, don't be scared," Suki told Billy when she reached him. Then she carefully picked him up in her huge jaws and held him above the water. A long way upstream, Amy was sprawled on a rock. The river was swirling around Suki. It was hard carrying both Beth and Billy. But at last, Suki reached Amy. Calmly, she picked her up with her long claws. Then, with all three little dinosaurs safely in her care, Suki waded to the bank. The dinosaurs' families were all waiting on the bank. They were so happy to see Suki and the little dinosaurs safely reach dry land. "You're a real friend now," said Suki's mum with a smile. "But find a safer place to play away from the river." The dinosaurs in the valley weren't afraid of Suki anymore, and Suki loved her brand new friends. The end. So, boys and girls, it's time to Dino Tale it again. Let's have another look at the pictures and meet the dinosaurs again. So here we have Suki. Can you remember what dinosaur she was? That's right, a Spinosaurus. With her mummy and daddy Spinosauruses there to look after her. And then Spinosaurus, who was around about 18 metres long when they were fully grown, meets a Bambiraptor, who were very much smaller. These guys were really not very big at all, Bambiraptors. Part of the Dromaeosaur family. We often call them raptors. But they were much smaller. Possibly not much bigger than the size of a turkey. And here we have a Bagaceratops, which is actually a pretty accurate drawing of him, because they had these distinctive cheek horns. And they didn't really have a frill over their head, but they're from the same family as Triceratops. So Bagaceratops actually means small horned face. And they didn't have the neck frill like a Triceratops, or as many horns, of course. And here we are meeting the Arvimimus, which was an omnivore. So that means that they ate plants and meat. Avimimus actually means bird mimic. And here we have Suki, back with Mummy feeling a bit sad. But she was very big, and her claws were very long, and her sail on her back was very tall. At 18 metres it would have been. Quite impressive. Dinosaur. And then she has another go, and look what happens. They all fell in the water. And this is the interesting bit. They all fell in the water, but Suki was large enough to stand up in the water. But actually, we also now believe that Spinosaurus could swim. So she could have swum to try and save the little dinosaurs. It's a recent finding. How amazing is that? A dinosaur that could swim. The only dinosaur we know that could swim. And so, Beth, the Bambiraptor, who was originally frightened of the large sail on Suki's back, gets saved by... How does Beth get saved, boys and girls? Do you remember? That's right. she climbs onto the sail back of Suki. And here we have Billy, the Bagaceratops. How scared was he of Suki's big sharp teeth, which would have been very big indeed. And then it's her big long toothy mouth that saves Billy the Bagaceratops. And what was it that scared Amy the Avimimus? Can you remember? That's right, her sharp claws. But it's those very same long claws that save Amy the Avimimus. She might have been a bird mimic, but she wasn't able to swim. And here they are, all safe and sound. I think Suki would have enjoyed her little trip in the water if she could indeed swim, don't you, boys and girls? She might have been a very good swimmer indeed. Well, there you go. What a brilliant dino tale, boys and girls. Well, I hope you enjoyed that, and I look forward to seeing you next Friday for the next dino tale.